now we have the moment you've all been waiting for, the interview we've been teasing all show long. We have Austin Amelio joining us via Skype. Austin, man, thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited to have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, tonight's episode was one of the most anticipated, but now having seen it, it is also one of the most brutal episodes of the entire series so far. Can you walk us through like what those first days were like back on set and what it was like to come in and film such like just brutality?
I mean, I think you just said it right there, man. Those were all overnight shoots, and there wasn't a light note on set, and yeah, it was devastating. I can't remember, it was 2 or 3 nights, but yeah, it was really rough. You know, it was a lot of like consoling each other and kind of just walking around and being quiet and waiting to shoot the next scene because it was really intense.
Yeah, you guys really seem like you were pushed to the limits there. I know Greg Nicotero has complimented everybody's ability to just go to that dark place and come back. But it seems like ever since you and your buddies Jeffrey and Stephen Ogg, who plays Simon, of course, came along, it's like, move over, cast. Move out, cast. There's not enough room for all of us, right? Because you come in, you kill Denise. Merritt Weaver's off the show. And how does the cast handle goodbyes? And how are you guys, with stuff like this happening so much lately, how is it meshing with the new group?
It's been interesting for sure, man. I mean, you know, it's like we just come in and act. And it's not like we want to be doing this and killing people off. That's luckily we're all pretty nice people, so they actually they don't mind us as human beings, but as characters, you know, they're probably not too happy.
Right. And now between your character and all his friends killing some favorites already, have you been getting like any terrible Twitter mentions? Are people just like, I hate you, Dwight? Because I know people love Austin, but are the people who look at you as Dwight, are they just all up in your mentions like, I hate you?
Daily.
I remember I told this story earlier on the show. When you were out in Nashville for the Walker Stalker Con, my mom was there, and she was like, oh, there's Dwight. I want to punch him in the face. And I was like, all right, hold on. And I was like, Austin, come here. And then she was like, oh, can we take a picture together? Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I think that's most first reaction. Like, they don't want to talk to me, and then they come up, and they're like, oh, okay, you're not actually Dwight, and you're not a mean guy, so...
Right. Now, you're not actually Dwight. You don't have the burn on your face. How long did it take how long does it take in a week to get that, like, makeup process? How many hours would you say you put into that in 1 week of shooting?
Oh, my gosh. How many hours? Well, it takes, you know, an hour and a half every morning and, you know, another maybe half an hour to an hour at the end of the day. So I guess, like, you know, 14 hours a week we work on that.
Wow, that's
or whatever, or not even 10 hours. You know, if I'm shooting 5 days, then
that's a lot of hours for some makeup. Is that scarring something we will see? What's that?
Oh, I was gonna say I've gotten really close to my makeup people.
I bet. Now, a lot of the comic fans are like, are we ever going to see where that came from? Because comic fans are familiar with Negan's form of punishment, if you will. Would you say that's something we will see down the line in season 7, where that scarring comes from?
Yeah, you're gonna see. Absolutely, you're gonna see something with that involved. That's cool. About all I can say.
Awesome, man. Cool. Now, you know, you did pick a really terrible character to get in a fight with, going back to that hate mail subject. But why does Dwight hate Daryl so much and vice versa? Because it really seems like they are never going to see eye to eye.
Yeah, I don't. A lot of people ask me that question. I don't necessarily think it's. Look, it's because he reminds me of who I was when I first came in, and that Dwight before that kind of had a romanticized vision of the world and how it was supposed to be. So every time I'm around him, it's kind of just bringing up the past. And I mean, I hope we can see eye to eye at some point. That would be nice.
Right.
I'm tired of taking a shit.
I mean, hey, you guys, there's not enough crossbows for the both of you. But I did speak to Norman earlier this week, and the way he describes Daryl's current situation is he's a prisoner of war. So what are the plans? What are you guys doing with Daryl?
I can't tell you.
I tried. Now,
It's
man.
rough. It gets. Look, I mean, this season is insane. The cast is huge. The storyline takes a whole different journey, and look, the first episode is, I'd say, the most intense. But Scott Gimple and those guys don't really let off the pedal, for a couple episodes after that. So you'll get to see where Daryl is in a few episodes, and it's not pretty, man. It's all really intense stuff.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see it. That brings me to my last question for you. For the rest of the season, I know we got to keep it very spoiler-free. This season has been such a mystery. I'm glad we can finally talk about who Negan killed. I need a new pickup line. But what can you tease about? Right? I mean, seriously, you could walk in anywhere and say, who did Negan kill? And it's like...
I can finally talk to my family about what I do for my job,
I bet, dude, I bet. But so now for the rest of the season, what can you tease? I mean, is the rest of the season as brutal as tonight's opening hour was?
Look, the first episode, I think, is a gigantic kick in the stomach, and it definitely is not as brutal as that, but it is interesting, and the season is going to be awesome, man. It's great. It's we're introducing a lot of new stuff and going down the rabbit holes with a couple of the characters' stories, and so it just gets deeper and deeper, man. I don't think you're going to be let down. It's a pretty rock and roll season. So.
Oh man, that gets me super hyped. Like, I mean, this is my job, but I am still a fan. What'd you say?
I said, be excited, man. This season is awesome.
Dwight's coming out swinging, man. Well,
very,
awesome.
Very awesome.
I am pumped that The Walking Dead is back on Sunday nights, and thank you so much for joining us. I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I know everybody was very excited to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man.
Of course. And everybody at home, thank you for watching. The Walking Dead is back. It's that time of year where we can get excited about every hour on Sunday night, where we get excited to lose the people we love, I guess. We will be back next week with an all-new After the Dead, and every Sunday night that The Walking Dead is new. Make sure you're following Comicbook.com across all of social media, at Comicbook on Twitter, at ComicBookNow on Instagram. On behalf of Chris Killian, Tori Yates, you're in Comic Book Nation, I am Brandon Davis. And until next week, just survive somehow.